Hello everyone, this is Amber with Staying Crafty. Today we're going to be doing a Cricut project. So I've cut these bubbles from the new Arrival cartridge. I have cut the full set 2 times, once in blue and once in white to do the layering. You can see there, I just kind of audition it first. I want to make sure that I've got the right layer to go over the right bubbles. And that's something that's always good to do because once you put your adhesive on, if that's the first time you're trying to figure out how they layer and you make a mistake, sometimes it can be really hard to remedy at that point. So it's always good to audition your cuts first. So you can see I'm using my tweezers to do the layering here, and I feel like that gives me more control so that I can get more accurate placement. So I just smush them together there, and you can see how nicely that layers. So then in just fast motion, I'm going to be putting together the rest of the bubble layers. And I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I would like the white outline over blue bubbles also. So I tried it out to see what it looked like, and I didn't end up liking it. And I think sometimes, you just have to experiment with things and test them out before you're really sure. So you can see here, I'm just finishing the assembly. And cut out at this size, these bubbles are pretty small. I don't know that I would cut them much smaller than that. So now I've got this bathtub from the new Arrival cartridge, and I want this girl from the Forever Young cartridge to look as if she's bathing in it. So I'm going to be placing her in at an angle so it looks like she's leaned back in the bathtub. So I'm going to add some ATG to the front of her. You can see there, just kind of in the middle section of her, I want to make sure all the adhesive gets covered up by the tape. And when I'm angling her, I wanted to make sure all of her hair was still showing. I didn't want to cover up her hair because I felt like that would change the look of the cut. So we're just going to go from the back here and we're going to cut off her legs. Looks a little strange from the back, but when you flip it over to the front, her legs could just as easily be folded inside the tub. So now I'm going to start adhering my bubbles. Adhering this set first, I'm making sure that I cover up her chest because I just want her arm and her head showing. I don't really want any of her body showing because it is a silhouette, and the silhouette isn't even really meant to be directly from the side, so I think it would look a little strange. So we just want to cover that up real easily with the bubbles, and then the others aren't as crucial of placement. And they're all slightly different sizes and such, so you can just play around and find a look you like. I kind of pre-auditioned these to see how I wanted them arranged, but I didn't include that in the video. You're just seeing me doing the actual gluing, but it's always good to play with your pieces first and see what you might like. And of course, if you would like to, you can always cut out an additional set of bubbles and add, a big layer of bubbles to kind of make a pile of them if you wanted the tub to look super bubbly. That's always an option. This last little itty bitty tiny bubble there, one of the harder cuts to make. You got to make sure your mat's good and sticky and all that. So now I've got my tub flipped over and it's all assembled and I'm ready to attach it to this door hanger. So I'm going to use 2 different kinds of glue on the back here. I'm using my ATG on the large portion, and then I'm using my Zig 2-way glue pen on some of the smaller cuts. And it's nice to be able to use 2 types of adhesive sometimes, because the Zig 2-way glue pen dries pretty quickly, and it's also more expensive than the ATG. So while I need it on the smaller portions where the ATG wouldn't work well, it's nice to conserve it on the big main portion of the tub where I don't need fine delicate detail. So always feel free to mix and match adhesives even on the same cut and the same project. So I've got these letters cut from Storybook. I'm using my tweezers once again to help me, and I do pre-lay out the words before I place them, and that helps me find out what makes them look centered and get them in the appropriate position. Because if you just guess and start placing them, it's pretty difficult to get an accurate view of how centered they're going to look. See how I just fiddle with it there and move them towards each other until I feel like there's equal spacing on each side of the word. And then I went ahead and started from the back on this one Doesn't really matter which letter you stick down first, whether you start from the left side or the right side. Just whatever suits your fancy. And there, I'm just getting everything laid down. And here is the last letter. So here is the cute little door hanger that I made. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a wonderful and very crafty day. And please, as always, feel free to stop by my blog and leave me comments. Thank you so much.